Hey, all. Welcome back to the 5 Minutes or So Daily Marketing Podcast. I'm Jacob Smith, Digital Marketing Specialist at Fresh Fuel Marketing. Today, we're here with Aaron Jarnagin, Digital Marketing Specialist at Cedar Valley. Thanks so much for being on our show, Aaron.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jacob. It's a pleasure to be here.
Can you introduce yourself real quick for our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Aaron Jarnagin. I'm the Digital Marketing Specialist at Cedar Valley. We're a regional economic development organization for the Waterloo, Cedar Falls area and also the surrounding counties, focused on helping businesses grow, which we look at reducing barriers. So like talent attraction is one area of work that we do. Inclusion is another area of work that we do. And also just bringing people together to promote opportunities in the Cedar Valley. I also like to share my start was in digital marketing when I was 14 by creating a YouTube channel that was Call of Duty montages. So I just loved watching views, seeing where they were coming from, and then figuring out why people like certain videos more than others.
That is so cool. I also had a YouTube channel in high school, and it was not nearly as good.
I bet, you know what, I don't show a lot of people on my YouTube channel because it's kind of embarrassing, but that's totally how I fell in love with that. That's cool that you did too.
So getting things started today, we're going to have 3 questions for you centered on using social media as a local business. And for each question, you'll have about 60 seconds to answer. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it started. So on social media, there's a plethora of different platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, all of them. Which one of these platforms tend to be best for local businesses? And how can local businesses decide which social media platforms to have a presence on?
That's a great question, Jacob. And what I would recommend is looking through a few different filters. So one filter you want to consider is where is your audience at? So if you know that they're a younger demographic, or even reaching into Snapchat or TikTok might be great avenues. If it's a more overall demographic, Facebook and Instagram aren't bad. Another filter to look through is what types of content are you comfortable producing and what social medias lend to that type of content specifically. So if it's video, Facebook's great for video. If it's all writing, you might think of Reddit actually, which a lot of people don't think about, depending on where your audience lives. But yeah, just looking through those 2 lenses and filters will really help you narrow down which platforms can be good. And then additionally, the last filter is what one do you think you can fill consistently with good content? Different platforms have different demands. Like Twitter, you have to be very active all day. Facebook, you don't have to be as active during the day. But by looking through those filters, you can really decide which social media platform is the best for you and your business.
I like that you mentioned the amount of content, because that's something a lot of people don't consider.
Right. So we actually just took off Twitter because we just didn't have the means to produce that many little pieces of content throughout the day. It's something that you need to take seriously.
So your employer, Cedar Valley, as a regional economic development organization for Cedar Falls, Waterloo, you advise and work closely with local businesses. I'm sure you've seen businesses that are absolutely crushing it right now. Can you give an example of a local business that does a good job at engaging the local community on social media, and just a little bit of insight into what successful businesses are doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So the one that immediately comes to mind is Hertz Donuts. They did a beautiful job as they were about to open up, getting people excited, doing tons of giveaways, really giving their audience and their potential audience what they wanted, which was free donuts. And if I remember correctly, I believe even before they launched, they had 6,000 likes on Facebook, and it was the highest amount of likes that any Hertz Donuts location had in a community before launching. But it's all about what can you give your audience, because anymore with all of the messages that are going out in our world, the ones that provide meaning and value are the ones that actually get heard. And what a greater message of giving free donuts for a donut shop. Like, it just makes so much sense, and you can tell that it worked because of the engagement. And if you go there on their page now, it's continuously hundreds of engagements, talking likes, comments, shares. So just big kudos to them because they did a great job.
So posting on social media, there's something that's important to remember, and that's brand voice. So how do you want to communicate with your customers? I've heard some business owners say things like, I want our account to sound like Wendy's, or I want to be to the point on social media. My third question for you is, as a local business, how can you find your brand voice on social media?
That's a really great question, and that really depends on the type of business you are. The easiest way that I can describe it, and the easiest way that we've been effective, is think about when somebody calls your office or calls to ask you for help. What type of assistance are you providing? Are you providing a very personal voice over the phone? Are you providing it's like an animated or automated message online? Because the experience that a customer has when they're talking to you on the phone is one that you need to replicate on social media and actually what you're sharing. So if you're a service, like I said, or a restaurant, and somebody walks in the door, what experience can they expect? Because what's going to be important is when you're promoting on social media, that experience be mirrored. And that's the way that we've been able to really identify the voice that we have and really been effective in terms of developing and just understanding what type of words we use, what language we use, and how we promote opportunities to other people using social media.
So at the end of every show, we'd like to give our guests a shameless plug. You can share your website, something you're working on or are proud of, or any sort of resources that our audience can take advantage of. Do you have a shameless plug for us?
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite projects that I've been able to work on at Grow to Cedar Valley is our community brand, which is called Live the Valley. And the whole idea about Live the Valley is promoting the opportunities in the Cedar Valley for recreation, for jobs, really covering all sorts of different parts of the spectrum. And we're probably going to be relaunching that soon with some new fun and creative tools. For example, right now there's a cost of living calculator, which compares just the different costs when you're looking at different cities and communities. But there's also going to be some great other tools coming out as well. So that would be mine, and it's livethevalley.com. So.
Digital tools are something that I'm a big fan of. So,
oh my goodness, yeah.
We'll be sure to link those in the show notes for our viewers and listeners to find. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity, Jacob. It was a pleasure.
And that's a wrap. Thank you for sticking with us and tuning in. Real quick, if you liked today's episode, we'd love it if you sub to the podcast wherever you're listening to it and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. To get in touch with us and find more great content, you can visit our website, which is linked in the show notes. Have a great day, y'all, and as always, good luck, good marketing.